This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake your body.
Wake your fuck ass up.
Wow, that voice right there, Cynthia Carmichael, played by the benevolent one herself.
Oh my God.
Highly respected, critically acclaimed,
Yes.
highly awarded, highly anticipated, highly sexy.
Yes.
I was just looking at her butt. I had to go ahead.
He
I was looking at her butt.
Get out of here.
Yeah, because I never.
It's gonna be like that. Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
I never forget that scene when Gregory Hines was looking at her butt. What was that? Waiting to Exhale?
Yeah, she had that potato
And
salad
she did
or mac
that
and
walk.
cheese or
Always
something.
bring it up every time I see her. 'Cause
Right.
she did that ding, 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 ding. And she still got that ding, ding, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Loretta Devine is here.
Hello.
Give me that
She's here. Good to have you back, Loretta.
Nice to be here.
Oh, it's good to have you back. You guys have been doing so well with this show, the Carmichael Show, and I just, I was looking at this. I'm in the know. I'm in TV, Loretta. Mm-hmm. I've been with Viacom maybe how many years have I?
You know what? We going on 16?
16. 16 years.
Yeah.
Yo, that's 16 years of checks.
Yes.
Consistent check. I never even looked at it like that.
I don't know why not everybody else look at you like that. Why you think people be begging so much?
Brother getting paid.
Better stop
All
playing
coming
Sway.
together. America.
Man.
Yes.
And I'm a trick too. Get in there, y'all. I'll spend money on you. But I was looking at this this NBC, all the canceling renewals that's happening with a lot of the shows.
Yeah.
And what percentile does the Carmichael Show fall in? And that's 80%, which is extremely good.
We don't know yet. We're just waiting to find out.
Waiting to find out. So
Yeah,
this
we
next
didn't know
episode,
that.
you didn't know
That's
that?
good to know.
Yeah, you wanna take this?
I'm gonna call and tell somebody.
I got the inside. Here,
I
you
know
go ahead.
David wanted to know that.
Yeah, here, go ahead. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna gift you this. Here, go ahead, look at that.
Stop.
Yeah, go ahead, take that. All right. That's for your own knowledge.
Whoa, 86.
Yeah.
80. Oh, go.
Yeah,
Look at all
y'all
these
doing
other
good.
shows in trouble.
Yeah, it was. Not your show. Guys are doing good. Look at Loretta. We ain't even got to do the interview. We can just talk about that if you want to.
Okay, that's okay. Moving on.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But what makes the show so special, because we had Gerard up here. He's been on the show a couple times, and I watched the show. So I likened it to Good Times because you guys have the ability to talk about social issues in an extremely entertaining way, and it's an emotional. It's funny all the time, but y'all hit on some real topics.
Gerard is incredible the way he's put this thing together. I mean, and it's really working. It wasn't until about the third show we realized what we were in for, that we were going to be dealing with things. I thought the NAACP was going to come over there and snatch us, right?
Yeah.
Because, it's really dealing with, that's all they do. They start late so that when we air, it's current. It's what's going on, at the time that we air. So that makes it really interesting, too. The whole Cosby thing that we did was incredible because you forget what people are really known for and all of the things like the money he gave to Spelman, how he opened the doors for so many incredible people. And then all these women come forth and said he did something to them, and they women of another race, and then we we asking all kind of questions like, well, how did he get to that many white women back in 1970?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't even start letting y'all talk to white women until what year?
2000, when I got to MTV, that was year 2000. That's when
Damn.
And she said, y'all.
When you look at it, when you look at the truth of it, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the truth of it. Is like you couldn't just be going around. Where were they? Were they come anyway?
Yeah.
So all of that stuff was.
Loretta want to know where they was at.
Where were they?
Loretta.
When did this happen?
Where was I?
Where? Really? In 1974? Really?
Y'all couldn't even get in here.
That was my question, but then, that's me. I'm just wondering. But the show, it really opens you up to talk about stuff. So that's what's good about it.
He said something really interesting, that you guys are really transparent, and he spoke really highly of you. And even beyond y'all characters, beyond the characters, that you guys care for each other as individuals, as people. And he told us a story. He shared a story with us that you were really concerned about his personal life. and this is here. Play that back for us, Wanda.
Oh no!
She's gonna kill me for saying this, Loretta. We say a little prayer before the show, and Loretta Devine. Gosh, she's gonna get mad at me.
I love Loretta.
She was like, and God, please send him some pussy, because we know he doesn't have time to look for it for himself.
Oh, shoot.
I was like, when it made its way into the prayer, that's the realest prayer I've ever heard before in my life.
I am so embarrassed. I taught him better. You learn from a baby. You do not take outside the family. What happens in the house stays in the house. He know better. He know better.
But you know what, Loretta? That just that shows a certain level of concern that goes beyond, beyond professionalism. That's family right there. And he feels like we're family.
Right.
So he was just talking to his brother.
But it's just, Gerard has his hands in the whole show. I've never, it was incredible to see such a young man be this on point with everything. He called other people that were successful to ask them how to get this done right. All the way down to what wig you're wearing, what costume you're wearing. He likes turtlenecks. The way he wants his mom to look. So he's in with the costume people, with the writing the script. He's, and sometimes when you're working with him, he may go, "Come back, Loretta, that's too far out there. This is, okay, let's stay on NBC."
Oh, really?
Because I can go broad if that's what you want. And I always, because I'm from stage and theater, I think broad a lot. And I think, and David too, we're just broader in the way we present things. But Gerard likes to keep everything straight. So it's like in a particular line. And so I'm working with my boss when I'm acting and on and off. So it's a learning process. We really had to get to know each other and to make this work. And the scripts come late a lot sometimes. Yeah. Because they're rewriting till they get the absolute texture, and he's in on that. So sometimes he's up till 3 and 4 in the morning.
He said that to us.
Yeah. Sleeping in the office, he said.
And he's up till 3 or 4 in the morning. Then he comes to work, and then he comes and he knows all his lines and everybody else's, I guess. So it's like he's doing such a tremendous thing, I think.
It's interesting. You guys are in tune. You are truly in sync because, by the way, Loretta Devine is here. You could catch her on the Carmichael Show airing Sundays at 9 p.m. on NBC. DB and I were talking because we had a caller that asked about your character, and what made him decide to cast you as Cynthia Carmichael. And this is what he had to say.
First of all, Loretta Devine is like probably one of the greatest actresses.
Yeah.
It really, sometimes I'm just in awe watching her, and she plays it very, very honestly and very, very true to a Southern mom who is very, very passionate. Everyone in the show is very, very passionate about it. That's what makes the conversations interesting, is because it's this clash of passion. So she's as passionate as I hope David Allen Greer is as my dad, and that I am, and Rel, and everyone is just really, really passionate.
Oh God, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. We've gotten in fights before on set because we go, the women ain't saying nothing. What's that about? And then we be going, well, wait, because it's very male driven. This show is, and the direct. We've had like one female director so far, but all the men that we have men directors and Gerard, and then and it, so the whole sphere of it. We have a female showrunner. But it has lots of testosterone, and you'd be like, how many times I have to cook? How come the men can't cook sometimes? We fuss it off.
Don't fuss about the characters,
because but that's the reality of what it is. It's to me, it is done with passion. So
I know the answer to that question, by the way, too.
Do share.
How come the women have to cook on the show? Because I saw the show when y'all were talking about gender roles, pretty much. What a woman really want to do, what a man does, or vice versa. Y'all cook because you guys cook. That's what women do.
Damn.
Okay, who's slapping him?
Well,
You go for you closest, Loretta.
But
Yo,
no,
but
but
who's
the
slapping
men, the men always have one. Like my husband, he can do a breakfast. He do a mean breakfast.
Okay,
And
okay.
whenever anything, we got a point to make. He'll cook a mean breakfast. So most men are good at they can do a mean spaghetti or make a good salad. Most men have at least
Everything was like 3 ingredients.
That makes some Kool-Aid really good. Man, can make some
something
Kool-Aid.
that they're really good at, and
Yeah.
they're known for that. So yeah.
Okay, y'all didn't really like when I said the cook thing. I was really joking, but damn, I mean the faces I got was stone faces.
I love you again.
But I want to open up the phone lines, and that's a subject you guys touch on, kind of like gender roles. What if the woman took out the garbage? Would y'all be willing to do that?
We have.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe this is not a good topic. You want to talk to Loretta Devine, 888-742-3345, Sway in the morning, whatever, man. Loretta Devine is here from the Carmichael Show.
Yep.
Sundays, 9 p.m. Support this. Gerard Carmichael, very talented guy. David Allen Greer, extremely talented. Lil Ray Howery, extremely talented. Amber Stevens. Everybody on this cast is doing really well for this show. And you know what I like about it is it's just, I'll just be honest, it's just a whole nother dimension to how people of color are being represented on a major network. I love the intellectuality of the show as well as the humor of the show. So it's doing what Good Times, what the Cosby Show, what other shows have done in the past, and just kind of put us with extra dimensions that I don't think Hollywood has always fairly represented. When you take on roles, do you consider that, or are you just, getting to that next check?
Yeah, I was real.
So cold-blooded, ain't it?
Yeah,
I'm rich. What you talking about?
Say it loud.
As you should be.
But it's all about the work. You got to be in it to win it.
Yep.
And so when you first get a show, you really don't know what it's going to be about until you get it and you pray that it's on. So you get a script, but it still doesn't define what it's going to be until it's on.
Yeah.
But I liked Gerard from the first time I met him, and I was like, oh, God, am I going to get this? So I hugged him real tight at the end.
Good.
I think that clinched the deal.
Yeah. You put some chest on him.
That's not what I did.
You hug a man tight.
I
That's what you
hugged
do.
him. I just hugged him like his mother would hug him.
Okay. I bet. But sometimes that's all it takes is a hug. That's how Tracy got her job here. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. All right, Nina's on the line from Cali.
Hey, Nina.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi,
Nina.
Nina.
Hi. I'm calling because I wanted to say thank you for giving us a show that I can watch with my family. That makes sense to us. I mean, there's not a lot of shows we can relate to. We're Latinos, but there's no shows for us really.
Oh.
And your show is great. I mean, I watch it with my middle school kid, and I approve it for him because it touches on topics that are going to relate to him later in life.
Thank you.
I think it's great. It's hard to relate to shows, and you guys are so relatable. And I love it.
We
Thank you.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Nina need her citizenship.
Yeah.
Nina, you are officially a citizen.
A Sway in the morning, and your son.
All right, thanks, Nina.
Bye-bye.
You know what? I had a question, though, because Loretta brought up something very interesting. You said you referred to Gerard as your boss. And I find it interesting that, sometimes you've been in the industry for so long, and sometimes you do have to work with people who you have more experience than, so to speak. How did you have to adjust to that, or what's your mentality going in sometimes working around people that you have more experience than, but you sort of have to answer to them, lack of a better word?
It's like with every job, you have to decide how much you're going to invest in it, because sometimes you invest more in some things than others. And from experience, you go, I do know that things can be canceled, and not to take it personal. I know that this is show business, and people do things or get things sometimes because of who they know, not because of how well they can do. So we learned by the second or third show that we wanted this, and Gerard is very honest. He has a problem with me interjecting sometimes. I will go, this line is funnier, and I'm going to say it. And he's like,
Hilarious.
She even had to laugh.
And I can see him looking at me like, does she know how long we were up last night working on it? But I don't, and if you don't say it, you don't know if it really is. And if the line crashes, it's like, David Allen Greer goes, see, trying to be a writer, that wasn't funny. So, you learn. And so we like each other. We wanted to work really bad. And so that really helps with, I feel like everybody is invested. Everybody wants this to be a success. For me, not so much because of the cash. I'm a workaholic. I like to work, and I believe that if I'm not working on this, I'll be working on something else. I'm always working on something else, even while I'm working on this. So it's just a good thing, and I'm just glad I got a chance because it's all a blessing that you even get a chance to do it, or how you got a chance to be a part of this. It's just almost like a miracle almost. Empire opened a lot of doors for a lot of black people. They called it the 70, that the season after Empire was so successful. I think 74 projects came to bear where they had black actors and actors in it that were either main characters. You got your Rosewood, and then you got all of these black leading ladies all of a sudden, and then there are all these other shows that are just now coming, like Mike Epps and Bellamy has a show, and everything is integrated, and there's all this stuff. There's the black family. It's hard to find. Or the total family, like ours, is hard to, and it's not a middle class family or upper class family like Blackish. We're like a working class family. And I think people need to know that working class people are the ones that discuss what's going on a lot because everything affects them so greatly. As to how they will survive and whether or not it's fair to. So I think this show shows that a working class family that loves each other, and they are all up in each other's business.
Yep. Loretta Devine is here from the Carmichael Show, Sundays 9 p.m. on NBC. We got Sharon on the line from Phoenix. What up, Sharon?
Okay. First of all, I love the show. It reminds me a lot, like, how you have food for the soul? This is like TV for the soul, and I love it. And I love the way what Sway had said earlier about the intelligence level that it has. But first of all, I had to call my man on three-way, Loretta, because he loves you. Like, he always talks about you. And
oh, my God.
So he's on the phone right now. His name is Wendell Jones. But
Wait, hold on. What's up, Wendell? You can have a voice in this too, man.
Hey, you know what? I'm nervous, so I'm gonna just get on back, man.
Hi, Mr. Jones. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, guys. You sound so good right now.
Oh,
This dude is flirting on you with Sharon on the line.
It's okay. So I was calling because, I have this little obsession. Every time I look at Gerard's room, it always has the letter 8. And I'm like, that's my favorite number. And I wanted to know, do you know the significance in that letter 8 in his room?
Well, we were assuming it was infinity. The circles never stop. The symbol for if you turn it sideways. He just had a birthday, and everybody had to give him something 8 of something, or something that had to do with 8. I won't tell you all the gifts because some of them were like I read. But anyway, so we don't really know, but it's his favorite number, and it's there because of that.
Wow. Right. Okay. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Yes. Bye, Mr. Jordan.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, Sharon, how cool was it that you watched this show and now you have direct contact with Loretta Devine and she answered that question? How cool is that?
I feel like it was destiny. It's going to make my whole day even better. I feel like it's a sense of power.
Hey, you know what? Sharon and Wendell, you are both citizens.
A Sway in the morning.
That can only happen on Shade 4-5, Sharon.
Come on.
Tell your friends, okay?
All right. I love you all.
Love you too.
Loretta, I wanted to ask, because you mentioned being a workaholic, and I think that's so excellent, because someone was up here before, and they said how you don't retire until you pass. As long as you're alive, there's still some form of purpose to be done. But we've also had a lot of actresses who've come and said that Hollywood doesn't respect the aging process of women. As men get older, they'll get a lot of jobs, but they feel like there's it's just more of a struggle as women get older. Do you find that at all? Is there ageism in Hollywood? Is that another issue?
Yeah, I think there's ageism. There always has been. I mean, men get younger wives as they get older in films. If you watched anything,
this is true. Yeah.
But for black women, there's until this last 4 or 5 years, there hasn't been a lot of work. Period. I mean, I've had an amazing career. I don't know how it worked out, but I've played just about everybody's mom that's living. That's my shade.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lewis plays the lighter shades moms.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
We need the light-skinned mom in, please.
Right.
Send Loretta back. We need the light-skinned mom.
That's so true, though. Wow.
Wow, I didn't even think of that.
So, we've been blessed. We got to Hollywood just in time for that to happen. And I think a lot of times I get work because of the timbre of my voice. But I have my mother's voice, which is, my mom raised six kids. I helped a lot with the last 2. So I haven't had any kids myself, but I always play moms. Jennifer Lewis hasn't had any kids herself. She always plays moms.
Wow.
It's
We might
really
have something
amazing.
going.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna play a mom one day.
You
I
should
don't
play
have
a
any
mom.
kids.
You don't have any kids, have you?
Right. You're much more sympathetic. I mean, you can make the lines work easier because you don't know the truth, I guess.
That's funny.
That's bad.
Wow.
Funny.
Loretta Devine, man, give her a round of applause. We want to thank you for coming by. Don't forget, the Carmichael Show, Sundays, 9 p.m. on NBC. Support it. Watch it this weekend.
Thank you.
And come back, Loretta.
I will.
Okay.
Oh, he's handsome, y'all. Have y'all seen him up close?
Oh, damn. I'm about to look at your butt again. All right, we got Celebrity Wire coming up.
Yeah, we do. And I got an update on Caitlyn Jenner's penis.
Oh, Jesus. Where am I?
It's Sway in the morning. Only
On Shade 45.